Violent gangs, they have overtaken Haiti, causing a serious humanitarian crisis. It is only getting worse. One of the gang leaders, who some claim is now the most powerful man in Haiti, goes by the name Barbecue. Some reports say he got the nickname because he likes to set his enemies on fire. Barbecue claims it's just a nickname that his mother gave him. Mothers always give the name Barbecue, I'm sure. And as civilians look to flee Haiti, well, according to reports, U.S. Border Patrol agents in Florida, they are expecting a massive wave of illegal immigrants to come from the war-torn country. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, he says he is prepared. He announced today he is sending 250 additional soldiers, aircrafts, boats to protect the state from illegal vessels coming to Florida. Here now with more, the author of the New York Times bestseller, Saved: A War Reporter's Mission to Make It Home. Our friend, Fox News correspondent Benjamin Hall. And by the way, Ben has a Fox Nation special, Sacrifice and Survival, a story from the front line. It's also available right now. First, it's great to see you. Well, I think tomorrow it is 2 years since this ordeal in your life began. I have met you, interviewed you. You have shown amazing courage, conviction, optimism in the face of what were very severe injuries you sustained in Ukraine. I saw that you went back and met with President Zelensky. How is your life going? How are things going? And what was it like with Zelensky?
Well, Sean, it's a pleasure to see you again. And, you've been there to support me the whole way through this. But look, when we spoke and we met about a year ago, when the hardback copy came out, I was at the end of my recovery, my physical recovery. But what's happened between then and now is sort of rebuilding my life, figuring out how to live in the world with my injuries. And I can tell you wholeheartedly that I know for sure that when you are knocked down, when you go through things that are difficult, you can pick yourself up and you can put yourself off in a better position than you were before. And that's how I feel speaking to you today. I feel that we've taken everything that happened to us and we've turned it around and we've made positive things out of it. So I sit here opposite you feeling so strong about everything that's happened now. And yes, I was back in Ukraine in November. I met with President Zelensky, and that was a big moment for me because I wanted to go straight back to where the attack happened. I wanted to go straight back to where I got my injuries. And I wanted to send a clear message, again, that you won't be able to stop us. You won't be able to stop journalists who want to go and tell the news, and you won't be able to stop me either. So it was an emotional trip back to see Zelensky, and of course, very interesting to hear what his plans are for Ukraine now that they are, frankly, losing in many places along the front lines. So it's been an incredible year for me, Sean, and it's a pleasure to be sitting here with you.
You always try and put yourself in the position of somebody that has gone through such a trauma as yourself. I mean, your life was hanging in the balance for a long time. And I just don't think I could be as strong as you've been. And it's inspiring in every way. And it's a tribute to you. We see what's going on in Haiti. It is horrific. It's a humanitarian disaster. However, America does not have the ability to take in all of the people that I'm sure would love to make it here. How bad is it? And are they targeting the U.S. because they know, like so many other people from other countries, that our borders are pretty much wide open?
Yeah, and I've been speaking to people in Haiti. I've been there sometimes myself, and I've got some people on the ground. If you can fly out of Haiti, and the gangs control the airports, but those flights that are leaving to South America, those are full of people whose plan is to fly to South America and make their way north. It's no secret. That's what many people are doing. It's a country of 11 million people, and it is in a worse place today than it has been in decades. As you said earlier, no government. Gangs are taking over. If you can leave, you are trying to leave. And that's why, DeSantis and Florida, they're taking extra care. They're aware people are going to be coming in boats as well. And they're bracing for more people who have come out of this criminalized, gang-infected country coming north.
Yeah, look, how bad is it? I mean, we're just getting these reports. What do we know about this leader, Barbecue? Did his mother really give him that nickname, or did he get it because of these horrific evil acts that he perpetrated?
I've been in some of the slums of Port-au-Prince, and as I walked through them, everyone was making goat sounds to me. And I asked the person I was with, I said, why are they doing that? And they said, oh, because they know that Westerners taste better than Haitians. These guys, they are cannibals, some of them. So, that name may have a number of reasons behind it. But look, it's very bad. He came to power. He was head of the G9. And to come to power, he took over all the fuel centers around the capital, and he held the hospitals hostage. He said, unless you hand over power, unless you pay me, I'm going to let the people in the hospitals die. And so that's how he came to power, and he continues to hold the country totally by its neck. And he has said that he will work with the devil, in his words, in order to take power. And many people are afraid that that could be Russia, China, Iran. Many of those countries have an interest in destabilizing a country so close to the U.S., such as Haiti. And there's a big concern that they are actively trying to destabilize that country to make more problems for immigration, more problems on the very doorstep of the U.S.
Now, I want to remind people you have a Fox Nation special, Sacrifice Survival, a story from the front line, which is now available at foxnation.com. And now your book out in paperback, if I understand correctly. And it is called Saved, a War Correspondent's Mission to Make It Home. It is beyond inspiring. Great book. It's also been an honor for me to get to know you. As well as I did. We didn't know each other that well when you were reporting on the show, and we've gotten to know each other, and you're an inspiration to so many. Ben Hall, great to see you, sir.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.